These are unprecedented times for all of us in one way, shape, or form. And while it's been difficult for many, one of the cool parts about this whole COVID-19 thing is seeing how people are coming together to work to solve problems. And today, we're in Mahomet at the Mahomet Area Chamber of Commerce with Darwin Boston. He's the chairman. Thanks for having us in today. This has been an interesting stretch for you guys, I bet.
For sure. Absolutely. Something we've never experienced before.
Nobody has, obviously. However, I was fascinated to learn that you guys have some programs that you obviously came up with in a matter of days to try to help out not only businesses here in Mahomet, but the residents as well. So let's start with how you're reaching out to those who are part of the Chamber of Commerce and how that program works.
So the Chamber of Commerce decided that we were going to work with some of the small businesses in the area who are suffering or certainly feeling a financial impact. So we've established a business relief fund that those who are receiving paychecks and revenue are able to contribute to, and then we have a committee of people who are evaluating the needs and distributing the funds as necessary to those small businesses.
So this money is coming from people who are just reaching out and donating to their friends and neighbors who might be in need.
Yeah, it's just an opportunity. We have a lot of people in the Mahomet area who have asked, what can we do? And so this is just an avenue for us to be able to help those small businesses. And so, yeah, it's just a straight donation on that part.
Don't need specific business names, but maybe categories. Who do you see here in Mahomet that's been hit pretty hard by this? I know everybody in their own unique way has been, but what types of categories are you looking at?
A lot of them are the small businesses. Certainly the startup businesses or those that are 5 or less employees are probably the hair salons, the small businesses, the retails, the boutiques. Those are the ones that are hitting. The restaurants are impacted, although they have some solutions of their own. The small businesses that we've been most notified are the ones that are just getting off the ground or small business in nature.
Personally, I'm hoping to find an underground hair salon network that's willing to reach out in the midst of all this, because this is going to need some work here in the next couple of weeks.
I don't contribute, sorry.
Let's talk about how the Chamber of Commerce here in Mahomet is reaching out to residents, because obviously there are people who are at home. They can't get out or won't get out for various reasons. How are you guys trying to make a difference in their lives?
So I got to give credit to Sean Widener, our village president, who brought together some leaders in the community to say what are some of the concerns we have with what's going on. And the residents at home, that was a concern we had. How do we serve them and get them what they need? So the Chamber of Commerce has brought up a delivery service for groceries or anything at the store that someone may need. And it's not just elderly or sick, but anybody who just feels better at home. We have a volunteer network of Chamber members and people in the community who just want to help out, and they call the 252 Bulldog number, or they email us with what their shopping list is, and we have volunteers that go out and get the materials for them and then deliver it to them to their homes.
So they pay for their items, but the delivery is sort of a complimentary service.
It is. We've asked for a 7% donation, but some of the local stores have given us discounts, and then any gratuity, the 7% charge that we ask the people pay, or any donations, every dollar is going into the business relief fund that we talked about earlier. So there's no, Chamber isn't receiving any funds or no one's making any money out of this, but it is a way to kind of also contribute to the business relief fund as well as any money we save or earn during that other delivery program.
I would assume that you will gladly take the help of others who want to sort of invest in this a little bit to help out their community members and their neighbors. How does that process work if someone says, hey, you know what, I could donate something financially to this to help out?
So the best thing I could do is send you to visitmahomet.com. All the information is out there, as well as a donate button and some of the places that we are shopping at. If they have a specific need or would like to volunteer, you can send an email to visitmahomet@gmail.com. Or the 252 Bulldog phone number was set up just for the COVID-19 response.
I would shake your hand to say congratulations, but we're not supposed to do that, so we'll do the air fist bump.
Sounds great.
And if you want more details on what Mahomet's doing, maybe how you can replicate that where you live, or how you can help out what's going on here, you can check out our website, which is ciliving.tv. Thanks, Darwin.
All right.